Baseball isn't just numbers, numbers, numbers.
This game is not being played on computers.
You don't do that with a bunch of statistical gimmicks.
You don't put a team together with a computer.
We're talking weighted runs created plus,
expected WOBA,
his sweet spot rate,
defensive runs above average,
average exit velocity,
barrel rate,
xFIP,
BABIP,
SIERA.
We are above replacement radio. And welcome to Above Replacement Radio, where we're talking baseball kind of whenever. I'm your host, Chris Gianta. Over there on the other side of the screen is Daniel Curran. How you doing, Daniel?
Chris, I'm doing very well today. This is a first for ARR. It is the first show that either of us have ever recorded from the Pacific time zone. I am currently in Seattle, Washington. I knocked off my 16th Major League Ballpark this weekend, went to T-Mobile Park for the first two games of the Mariners-Astros series. I'll be going back on Sunday. I got to see friend of the show, Matt Brash, for the weekend, along with plenty of others on both teams. And but ARR doesn't stop. It's 8 a.m. where I'm at right now. It's 11 o'clock for you. We're in very different body clocks right now, but the show must press on, as they say.
Yes, indeed. Daniel's been out watching ARR alum Matt Brash through two solid relief outings. We have in the baseball world, we recently had our little all-star break. Nice home run derby, nice all-star game, probably the most memorable all-star game we've had in a very, very long time.
The first one that comes to mind was 2018.
Yeah.
A game that also went to extras. There was like a million home runs hit in that game.
Yeah.
There was Hatergate.
Absolutely. Well, that was also and a reason it was eventful. But I mean, or do we want to start with what happened with the home run derby? Yeah,
it was an event that gave me a mix of emotions, for sure, largely because of the presentation. First of all, and this is probably more of a controversial take, I really don't care to see Pat McAfee in baseball. Like, I don't love that we're marketing baseball with a football guy who just doesn't know the game that well. And that's not to any fault of his own. He played a professional sport that wasn't baseball. But I don't care to see it. I'm guessing that was an ESPN decision rather than an MLB decision because they paid him all that money. So they got to find him where he fits, and the home run derby probably felt right. I didn't care for it. I didn't love it. I don't know. What did you think of McAfee there?
I don't know. I haven't really put my thoughts to it that much. Because I think there's definitely some possible benefits from it because he has such a major following, and anytime he is doing anything, people are going to pay attention. So in terms of if you want to get non-baseball people to watch, that
is one of them. I still don't think for that event you need to get a non-baseball person. I think there's plenty of baseball people you could have found.
Who would you have pictured as a good person to fill kind of his role?
I mean, there's a decent amount. In terms of baseball people, like Dallas Braden, I know there would have been some bias there, but maybe even Tom Hamilton, going into the Hall of Fame, someone from Atlanta, I don't know, that's not John Smoltz, anyone that's not John Smoltz, from Atlanta. I don't know. I think there's baseball people you could have found. Dallas Braden's the first one that comes to mind for me.
Yeah, Dallas Braden would be the.
I know there would have been some bias there because there was an A in the home run derby, but he would have hyped up Rooker, but he also would have hyped up the other guys.
Yeah, I think so too. He would be.
I know that he doesn't have the following with Pat McAfee, but I don't know. I enjoy when baseball people are doing baseball things.
Yeah, he would be the Pat McAfee version of that for as a baseball guy. I like that it was someone with probably a little bit more flair.
Sure.
I don't think I'd want a traditional baseball media person doing what Pat McAfee was doing, and Dallas Braden is kind of that person. So
I think it should have been Mike Petriello, but instead of hyping the guys up, he just goes over their StatCast numbers in a normal voice.
Yeah, right. He's
Coming up now, he hits the ball actually over 120 miles an hour. This is a guy that's one of the better power hitters in baseball. O'Neal Cruz is gonna be hitting for the Pirates in this one.
he's just like, what would be really cool if Juan Soto was in this home run derby. It would be really nice if Juan Soto was here. I really like Juan Soto. Um,
Coming up for the Rays. Now you take a look at his average attack angle, and it's really interesting what he does here at age 22. I mean, Junior Caminaro's been really solid for the
you know who
Rays.
else was really good at age 22? Juan Soto. Juan Soto is a very good hitter at age 22. Um, love Mike
You know
Petriello.
what? He's also number 22.
Yeah. Yeah. No, as me personally, I would enjoy that for sure.
I think we'd be the only ones, but
Yeah, true.
I don't
Um,
know. The broadcast was brutal. I think that was kind of the general sentiment. I don't really get it because like the issue people have with the broadcast is more format related, where it's like, oh, you don't have time to appreciate the home runs, like, they're coming in so rapidly that it's hard to keep track. That's been a thing before, but the broadcast has been able to follow it no problem, other than this year.
right,
Like
yeah.
go back to 2023, the Seattle All-Star game. Like Julio Rodriguez hit literally 41 home runs in a round. The broadcast had basically no problem like keeping track of each one. I only watched the actual ESPN broadcast for only Brent Rooker's round before I switched back over to Statcast because it was just undoable on the main broadcast. But like the zooming in on home runs, I can't do. Like it doesn't give you any perception of where the ball actually is. The ball might look like it's way gone, and it's like it scrapes into the first row, and you can't tell.
Right. Yeah, I actually watched it later in the night. I was out somewhere and so I recorded the ESPN
Mhm.
version with forgetting about the Statcast version of it. So I
Yeah.
just kind of watched that one. But yeah, it was there definitely there was some room for improvement there.
Wait. I mean, the Statcast one wasn't perfect either. The main issue with it was that it didn't show the balls going into the crowd. It just showed like a tracker of like a stadium wide shot.
Hmm.
But luckily for me, just because I'm such a ball knower, uh, off the bat they would show the exit velocity and launch angle like immediately, like as ball hit bat, and I could just tell like, oh, 105.32, like yeah, that's going.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
103.34, like that's not it.
Yeah, it's just dead center field. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, but you gotta be a ball knower for that one, and not everyone is, and I respect that.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
Yeah, I remember, I think 2 years ago, even on the regular broadcast, they were doing that exit velocity launch angle thing off the bat. And it was nice because, yeah, it just made things a lot easier for myself. Um, but yeah, I mean, so
One
Cal
thing that
Raleigh,
yeah, Cal Raleigh, I do before we get to him. One thing that I think kind of sucks about the home run derby, through no fault of anyone, just it's just the nature of the event itself, is that seemingly we always find ourselves in these scenarios where like the guy that you remember most from the derby isn't the guy who wins it. Like when I think back on this home run derby in 5 years, I will think of before anything else, O'Neal Cruz hitting a ball 513 feet.
yeah,
Like
right.
that was insane. Even with the Statcast broadcast, I saw that one off the bat. I think it was like 115, like 37. I was like, oh my God, like that one's crushed. Um, like you go back like 2023, I think of Julio Rodriguez before Vlad Jr. 2019, I think of Vlad Jr. before Pete Alonso. If you surveyed baseball fans, like real ball knowers, on who won the 2008 home run derby, at least half of them are going to say Josh Hamilton.
Yeah, right.
And
Yeah,
understandably so, because he did win the home run derby, but Justin Morneau actually won it.
right. Yeah. Um, yeah, that does happen often, and yeah, another instance happened there
Mhm.
in 2025. I guess it was like it was part of what I considered when I thought of like who was going to win this derby was, yeah, Cruz. Like we knew Cruz was going to hit the ball really hard, probably hit a couple really far, but in terms of consistently putting it in
Mhm.
the air and hitting it to the right areas of the ballpark. That might have been more of a challenge for him than someone like Cal Raleigh.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, the 513-foot homer, like that's just an unforgettable moment for sure.
Yeah, I think our analysis on Cal Raleigh and why we thought he was going to win it ended up being pretty spot on. Other than the fact that we didn't consider the fact that he would hit the ball, what was it, an eighth of an inch uh, farther than Brent Rooker for the tiebreaker.
Yeah,
That was, I don't know, that should have been a swing off.
I agree. Yeah.
I like because it's like, look, I love Statcast, I love Hawkeye. I am the Mr. Statcast hype man. If there ever has been one that does it for free 99. Uh, the margin for error on those things, I think, pretty much certainly precedes 1 inch or
Yeah.
one, or even 1 foot.
Yeah. When we're talking about a 470-foot bomb, yeah,
Yeah.
there maybe an inch could be there's more than an inch
407 well
somewhere.
470.6 and then go through the rest of the digits of pi. I don't know.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah,
Uh,
I would agree. Like when it's when both are hit 470 feet, I don't think we need to break it down further. It's hard enough to.
Clearly, if you put if you did like a stadium wide shot and showed the trajectory of both balls but put them in the exact same direction, you're not going to be able to tell which one was hit farther.
Yes,
You
yeah,
have to zoom in like 300 times.
yeah, exactly.
Be
Like
like, oh, I think the Cal one actually did go like a tiny bit further.
yeah, to the point where yeah, it's just 2 pixels.
You have to be looking at individual seats.
Right, right. Yeah, no, it's tough, and any opportunity to do a swing off, they
Yeah,
should.
you got to do it.
Yeah.
That's I mean, if that's a takeaway from this week for sure.
Yes, indeed,
Swing
indeed.
offs are dope. But yeah, it was very cool to see Cal Raleigh get his moment. Like we've been on the Cal Raleigh hype train for much longer than the average baseball fan, and I think a lot of people are starting to get on that now. And he definitely reaffirmed himself as a legit star in this game this week, which made me very happy personally.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. It's been a good past couple years for guys that like I don't think I
Lindor
wouldn't
last year.
yeah, I wouldn't agree that like Jose Ramirez is underrated. I think Jose Ramirez is pretty properly rated now.
People have
I
figured it
think
out.
I think Cal Raleigh is like starting to be pretty properly rated now because of he's just so undeniable right now.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm trying to find
Lindor
like
was
my
a Lindor was a starting All Star this year, having a pretty similar first half to what he's had in the past,
yeah, like
and like it was worthy. He deserved it.
I'm trying to find my next underrated king because I'm kind of running out.
I
Um,
know.
like Cal,
All the guys are getting their due.
yeah, yeah, for sure. So yeah, it was definitely cool to see Cal Raleigh do what he did. Even as just like analytical nerds, like we before he ever, put up 38 home runs in a single half of a year, we knew about how well he pulled fly balls and like how cool it
Mhm.
would be. I'm sure before the season even started, we would have loved to see Cal Raleigh in a home run derby anyway.
Yeah.
Never
Oh,
mind.
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it would be really cool to see
Before,
that.
yeah. Before it
Um,
was undeniable, you had to do it.
yeah, before he was on pace to, break the AL home run record, it still would have been cool.
Yeah.
And now he's out there, doing his thing with that notoriety. Yeah, it's a cool thing to see. And yeah, you know, we correctly predicted the home run derby. This might have been the first, or I know that for me personally, this was the first time I correctly predicted a home run derby.
I
Um,
think I said Stanton in 2016. Not that the pod existed back then,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah. Dur
yeah, in the ARR era,
yeah,
probably.
in the ARR era, since I've publicly given my takes, I think this is the first time I've correctly um predicted a home run
Yeah, and
derby.
shocker, it was the guy on pace to break the AL record.
Yeah.
All the sneaky takes that we try to lay out there. It's like, no, I think he's the guy. It's a perfect like what's the word? Why can't it the name of the chart that goes like this, the graph, the
Bell
bell curve. It's the perfect bell curve where it's like on the lower end, it's like he hits a lot of home runs. and we're in like the upper 99% being like, well, actually, if you look at his pull rate and if you look at his fly ball rate and his discipline, this is actually a perfect event for him. And then on the higher end is he hits a lot of home runs.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, shout out Cal Raleigh.
I like a reverse bell curve actually, because I think we're the only ones talking about his pull rate when analyzing the home run derby.
Yeah. I agree. Um, but so yeah, Cal Raleigh wins it. And then we move on to Tuesday, and it's we finally get our swing off.
Yeah.
It's kind of the takeaway from it all. Like I don't
Yeah,
really
there was also a game. By the way, I just want to talk about real quick. We don't need. I don't think there's much to touch on in terms of what happened in innings 1 through 10 or 1 through 9 rather. Um, I can't. I know that the All Star game doesn't matter at all. I can't have pinch hitting for Hunter Goodman and then putting him back in. Like I needed to have Kyle Schwarber catching that inning. Like unacceptable. Like what are we doing here? Like I mean, people talk about like the Savannah Bananas taking over baseball. Like this is actually an example of it where it's like, no, we're just gonna make up the rules. You can put a guy back in if you pinch hit for him. No, you can't. That's clearly something you can't do. Never
Yeah,
has been. Never will be.
exactly. No, 100%.
And you know what's funny about that too? Shout out Dave Roberts for this. Okay, so they pinch hit Hunter Goodman because they needed to get James Wood in at bat. Fair. He should have been in before the eighth inning, I would argue. But whatever, you needed to get James Wood in that game. The top of the order in that eighth inning, that bottom of the eighth, it was Eugenio Suarez, Hunter Goodman, Corbin Carroll. You could have just pinch hit him for Corbin Carroll, who had already homered in the game anyway. Like he didn't need another at bat. He hit a home run his first at bat. I don't think he's like complaining over getting one at bat in the All Star game, and that makes a weird defensive alignment because the outfielders are Fernando Tatis, Kyle Stowers, James Wood. None of those guys really play center. You could throw Stowers or Tatis in there for 1 inning.
I mean,
Like you didn't have to pinch hit for Goodman.
I mean, for a while we've been questioning Dave Roberts's managerial decisions, when the pressure's on.
Yeah,
And it continues to show itself
exactly. Because
on
there's so much
national
pressure on him that
television.
game too. He needed to win that.
Yeah, exactly. We're fighting for home field advantage in the World Series.
Yeah. What is this?
I know we've probably mentioned this before, but like that will be like good, I guess, dad lore for if and when we have children. Like for 14 years, this game really, really mattered for whatever
Yeah.
reason.
The
From
Cubs
03 to
had to go on the
16.
road to play Game 7 of the World Series, even though they had the best record in baseball that year because Eric Hosmer hit an opposite field home run
Yeah,
on a team that finished 500.
exactly. No, it's
What a
wild.
stupid thing that was. Like why was that ever a thing? That made no
I think
sense.
it was because the 0-2 All-Star game ended in a tie and it really upset people. So instead of, having a fun way to end it, they just made the
Yeah.
game matter way too much for 14 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Come on. Come
It's
on.
yeah, it was funny to watch the swing off and be like,
Can we
they
talk
could
about
they
how
couldn't have just
sick
done this instead of,
a tiebreaker in 0-2 would have been sick, like a swing off tiebreaker.
oh my God,
Like
yeah.
I don't know if we have the same situation back then where like all the starters just left, but like Barry Bonds would have been in that. Like Sammy Sosa probably would have been in that if he was an All-Star that year. Like Manny Ramirez would have been in that if he was an All-Star that year.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't remember if they were or not. I'm sure they probably were.
No,
I
Bonds.
know that Barry Bonds was because the only thing I know from that All-Star game was a Barry Bonds at bat.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm sure Sosa
Yeah,
was
Manny was an All-Star.
um
Like peak steroid era and all the I know Mark McGwire was definitely not an all-star because he was retired by that point. Like
yeah,
all the
Frank
steroid
Thomas could have been
guys.
in
Yeah,
there.
Frank Thomas,
Jim Tomey. Um,
Sammy Sosa was an all-star. Yeah, dude, that would have been sick.
that would have been
One thing I
awesome.
do kind of wish we had, like I get why all the starters left. I think it was very funny, like when they cut to Tarek Skubal during that swing off and he was like in a polo.
Yeah,
Like he had already, gotten showered up and everything. I think it would have been great if all the starters had stayed and you just threw Judge and Otani in there, but they're wearing street clothes. It's like a classic, like, dad move, subbing himself in like the backyard with a ball game. Comes in wearing like a button down and khakis. start swinging,
Yeah, that would have been
starts like
stellar.
shooting hoops. Like I think that would have been sick seeing Aaron Judge in normal person clothes hitting 450-foot tanks.
That yeah, we need that. That would be
That
great
would
for baseball.
everyone. I like the thing about this All Star game is that I think it ruined All Star games going forward for me because now I will only root for ties.
True.
Like I don't. The game doesn't mean anything. I don't really care who wins the actual game. Just give me the swing off. Give it to me every year. And to be clear, I don't want it in the regular season. I want it exclusively for the All Star game
Yeah,
because I
100%.
think it'd be fun for one day a year. We're like, oh my god, give us extra innings so we can have the swing off. And also, I don't think we should have that in the regular season as a whole.
Yeah, this is still we still live in a society,
Hmm.
We need to we can't just banana it up all the time.
Hmm.
Um
Kyle Schwarber was, I mean, I've never seen a guy just swipe the All Star Game MVP like that. It kind of sucks because I think if Jonathan Aranda had hit one homer, Pete Alonso would have won All Star Game MVP because he would have hit the. I wish we just had a walk off in general, like a walk off, in that game because we didn't get one in the home run derby. But also like if we had that and if we had Pete Alonso like hitting a walk off in the All Star game, and then also he would have homered in the All Star game and homered in the tiebreaker. Like that would have been a clear MVP.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
But Kyle Schwarber stole the show. Like three swings, three tanks.
Right.
Shout out Kyle Stowers too. I think he hit two home runs, or maybe he hit one. I think he hit one.
You won.
Yeah. What was it?
Um
Rooker hit two. Stowers hit one. Randy hit one.
one.
Schwarber hit three, and then Aranda hit zero.
Yeah.
And then Pete
Um
Alonso was waiting in the wings. How did Matt Olson not get picked for that? Is a question that I have, unless he declined it. I know he
yeah,
had just done the home run derby, but he was still in the game. James Wood, same thing.
yeah, it was interesting. Yeah, I found it interesting that outside of Rooker, like everyone picked who's not in the home run derby.
Yeah, like James
Oh.
Wood could have been in there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right, exactly. Yeah, it was
it was
interesting.
fun though. It was cool to see like the old image of like all of the players like on their feet and like hyped up for every single swing and every home run. Like you don't really see that in home run derbies much anymore, but it used to be very much a thing.
Yeah, yeah,
Like I've stated that I'm anti 10 outs, and I still am. I need to go back to the like 4 minute timer, no limit on pitches, and you have to wait until the next pitch until the last pitch lands to throw the next one.
yeah, yeah, because
Because like uh, there's more home runs. Like Jazz Chisholm hit 3 home runs, and it was the least amount of home runs anyone's hit in a round since 2016 when Robinson Cano hit 7. Back in 10 outs, you would like somewhat regularly have guys hitting zero. Like I can name multiple instances in the time that I watched the home run derby in the 10 outs format. Like Yasiel Puig did it, I think in like 2014. Robinson Cano did it in I think 2012.
yeah,
Like that used to be a thing that happened not uncommonly.
yeah, yeah,
And now
exactly.
Jazz Chisholm hits 3, which would have won the 2007 home run derby, and people make fun of him for it.
Right.
And MLB put out the tweet that said Jazz was here for the vibes, which was a brutal way of putting it.
But but yeah, no, because yeah, when you watch like 2015, the first home run derby with the
Mm.
timer, they did kind of wait around to for everything to land, and there was a good balance. You had a good
Yeah.
balance of
You have to go to like 2019 to see the first year in which they just said, screw it, we're throwing as when we can. And that one, like, they kind of got bailed out because Vlad Jr. made it way too fun to even like care.
yeah,
Him and Jock Peterson, Pete Alonso, like, those guys were sick.
even halfway through like the 2018 one when like Harper was kind of going on his run and it was the
Hmm.
home guy and they were just kind of letting it happen.
Yeah.
They kind of like let loose and then that's when I think that all started.
Yeah.
Um, but
Yeah. What did you, going back to the All Star game, I know we're kind of shifting around. What did you think of ABS?
um I found it cool. I like that it just has to touch the strike zone.
Yes.
Um I do like that aspect because because yeah, if you made it so that most of the ball had to be in the strike zone, like nothing would get called a strike.
Every team would lose their every team would run out of challenges. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, in the second inning. Well, I guess not because you have to lose. You have to actually be unsuccessful. A take that I have, I think like when ABS comes in because it will. I think like it will be of great benefit to catchers. I know that like people say, and for good reason, people say like ABS will be bad for catchers because it will take away some of their framing abilities. I think most successful challenges for ABS will be on the pitching side of things. It'll be like balls being called strikes rather than strikes being called balls. I think for one, if I imagine the only people that would be able to challenge calls would be um batter, pitcher, and catcher. That's what I would assume. I feel like the second baseman doesn't have jurisdiction to do that, nor does the manager who is watching from the side. Uh, so that's two people on the pitching side versus one guy on the batter side, and also two people that have a much better view of the strike zone because they're not looking at it from a side angle, right?
Hmm.
So I think first of all, I think most ABS challenges either way will be successful. Like in terms of like the people challenging it will be correct. Um, but I think it will be of great benefit to batters and pitchers. Although it does still take away from framing because it's like, yeah, you got a ball call the strike, but it also was a strike. Like it was in the strike zone and it was a strike. So how much does that count for framing?
Right, right. True. Um, yeah, right. You're not really shifting that much. But I guess it is helping. Um, it does help your stats a little bit if because
Mhm.
I'm sure guys who have a lot of actual strikes get called balls have negative framing statistics.
Mhm.
So um,
I think ABS made a good impression though. I think a lot of people that weren't already on board are now on board after that.
right, yeah, because
Like it's quick. It takes like 10 seconds.
yeah, you see how quick it is.
Hmm.
And yeah, they'll figure out the number of challenges and how
Hmm.
that's gonna work out. But
Yeah, so it's you get two, but you retain a challenge for every correct one you get. Basically, you get two strikes essentially is what it is.
right.
Um, yeah, I like it. I like that I like that there is a limit. Like I don't think you should just be able to do it on any pitch. And also like I think when it starts out, guys will be a little more reluctant to challenge, and then people will have less of a problem with it as they go on. Because I think generally, like I said, most challenges will be successful, and that a lot of guys will just have a lot of confidence as it goes on. That like, oh, I'm probably right on this.
Right. Yeah,
I
exactly.
wonder if like there will be certain batters where it like actually helps them get to know the strike zone a little better. You know,
Yeah, it's possible. It's pretty
I don't know.
possible.
I don't know if it would be a league wide thing, but I feel like we could be having a with some beat writer will write a story this time next year being like, this guy has a 15% walk rate. It was 8% last year. He credits ABS to a certain extent.
I mean, Sedan Rafaela could be the best player in
Oh
baseball.
my God. Pico Armstrong just starts putting up like 380 OBPs.
Yeah. Um,
It's funny. Pico Armstrong is just like he's having the 2021 Salvador Perez season, but if he not only played like competent defense, but actually the greatest defense ever, like his OBP is like 305. Like it's
right.
considerably below league average.
Yeah, and if Salvi, stole, 50
Yeah,
base.
yeah, yeah, that too. Base running.
Um, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
it's fun.
we don't talk about that enough. If Salvador Perez put up like 20 fielding run value and 50 stolen bases, he would have the greatest catcher season ever.
Yeah.
Very possibly in 2021.
I'm glad that Cal Raleigh's gonna put that whole thing to rest this year.
That yeah, it's
Like
pretty sick.
he's 10 home runs away from tying Salvi in 2021. He's also, even if the defense numbers have like technically regressed from last year, like he's still gonna have a very good defensive season from the catcher position. Hopefully he'll hit 50 plus home runs, maybe even 60.
Well, you've been in person. He hasn't hit a home run since. You've seen how
I
much that's
know, I
messing his
know. I need to
swing
get
up.
I need to get out of Seattle. He's got one more game to deal with. Actually, two more games to deal with me because I'm gonna go to one of the Mariners Mets games at Citi Field in August.
Yeah, but yeah, it's clearly messed up his swing.
Yeah, I can't be in his presence.
He went from like only trying to pull fly balls to only trying to pull fly balls. Um,
But
yeah,
this time he's not pulling fly balls.
yeah. What the heck?
He
Um,
hit one ball last night that Daniel Kramer from MLB.com cited like it died at the warning track like why can't I think of who was playing center for the Astros, but
Myers,
what's that?
Myers.
No, he's on the IL.
Oh
Um
damn.
I don't know, but the Astros center fielder, who I wish I could remember right now, like reached up at the wall and caught it. But it was brought back in by wind. Daniel Kramer said it was affected 5 feet by wind, and it was the fifth homer he's had taken away this year because of weather, which leads the league, which is hilarious. Cal Raleigh should have more home runs.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
you know who's getting unlucky this year? Cal Raleigh. Just
Yeah,
can't. Poor guy just can't catch a break.
exactly.
Just
Um,
nothing seems to be going his way right now. Oh yeah, one thing we did mention about Cal's home run derby. I know we're kind of jumping around. I thought it was very cool seeing his family get the spotlight the way that they did,
oh yeah,
with
right,
his
right.
with his dad pitching, his brother, who is huge by the way, catching. His brother's 15 and he's like 6'3" and bigger than Cal. That's
Crazy.
crazy.
Yeah, I didn't realize the kid was 15. He looked like he was like at least in college.
Yeah. 100%. No, he's in ninth grade or something like that.
That's insane.
He can't
Um,
drive yet. Yeah. Big dude. He's gonna be perfect game had a tweet about him. He's class of 2028.
yeah, that's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Um, just to see someone of that stature.
But yeah,
Uh,
like that was cool. Like I don't know, the dads pitching to their sons in the home run derby will never not be cool to me.
yeah, 100%.
I remember in 2019 when Matt Chapman's dad pitched to him and he started throwing cutters for no reason, just because Vlad Jr. hit like 30 the round, before him, and it's like, well, this is our only round. Let's just have fun with it.
It was also a funny situation because he was the replacement for Yelich. So
Yep.
Chapman had like 12 home runs that year, but he was the one seed. Uh,
Yep. Yeah, Vlad Jr. versus Christian Yelich was supposed to be like the clash of the Titans, but then
yeah,
Yelich got hurt.
right. Um, but yeah, so yeah, anything more on the All-Star week?
The NL one, huge week for the Spalding squad.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know they needed that one bad.
Yeah, I mean they've won 2 out of 3, I think, so they're kind of getting
Yeah.
rolling.
They won if the series started in 2023, they won the series.
True, true.
They won the rubber match via swing off. I think it is very funny seeing in MLB.com how it just says 7-6, and it's just like they don't have the coding to like account for a swing off. They're just like, yeah, I don't know, some guy hit a 10th inning homer. Don't worry about
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Um,
It was fun. I enjoyed it.
but yeah, the National League is starting to get rolling. A team that's been getting rolling is the Milwaukee Brewers,
Mm-hmm.
who, coming out of the All-Star break have won both their games against the Dodgers. They've won their last 9 games, and have also won 22 of their last 29 for the best record in baseball since June 12. Um,
Chris, I'll let you get going on this one.
yeah,
I
so
didn't get a ton of chance to research this.
So the Brewers, yeah, they've won 22 of their last 29. And their playoff odds have gone from 25% before the span to 90% after this span.
Wow.
They have a
Wow.
9 out of 10 chance to make the
Wow.
playoffs according to
That's
Fangraphs right
crazy.
now, after having a 1 out of 4 chance. And interestingly enough, it's just kind of been from all angles from them. Since June 12, they have the second highest batting average, the highest on base percentage, and the second highest OPS. They also have the second lowest ERA and FIP. And yeah, what are, not even breaking it down that much, but like, what are your thoughts on just how the Brewers have just, once again been
Yeah,
able
what is with
to
this team, man?
been able to
I'm
just
gonna
kind
go
of
ahead.
leap into playoff spot?
I want to pull the numbers up. I'm sure because this is kind of a default Brewers thing and it's been weirdly sustainable over the last few years, but I'm sure their runners with scoring position are crazy.
It
They
probably
just
is.
they
Yeah.
just seemingly always find a way to hit like very well with runners in scoring position to a way where you're like, well, this is not like sustainable, but then it does it for some reason.
It was
Um,
something I noted in why I think they would regress this year, but
yeah.
um,
Well, they've done it for like I think I counted by saying like, well, they've actually done that in multiple years now in a row.
yeah, I think
Yep.
they BABIP 328 with runners in scoring position last year.
You want to know what their BABIP is with runners in scoring position since June 12th?
Is it 328?
It's higher.
Or yeah, I have it pulled up now. It's
Okay, it's
361.
it's 361, which is yeah, not even leading the majors somehow. Why what the Marlins have an 369. That's insane. But the Brewers have an 864 OPS with runners in scoring position, the third highest in baseball. They are tied for second in baseball with weighted runs created plus with a 137. That sounds about right. What's their strikeout rate? I bet it's something like 18.8%. I don't
Their
know. That's
strikeout
just
rate in general
oh,
is
that's just I know with
second
runners in scoring.
second lowest in baseball. Um,
Yeah.
in the span. And like I guess breaking it down more analytically, I guess if you were to expect a team to have the best BABIP with runners in scoring position, I guess it would be Milwaukee. Because
Yeah.
I think they might have the highest like team sprint speed in baseball. I'm trying to find that. Because or at least I know they did last year, I think. Or yeah, they have the second highest sprint speed as a team in baseball. Because I mean, yeah, you think about that team, it's a lot of speedsters, it's a very athletic team. They've always had pretty good defense as well. So they're probably legging out a couple extra infield hits that a lot of other teams are not. So that does make a little bit more sense. But yeah, a 361 BABIP with runners in scoring position, I'm sure, won't sustain itself. But it if there was a team to have that, I guess it would make sense that it is the Brewers.
The pitching staff is kind of back to being what we have come to know about them. I think like Freddie Peralta is putting up certified ace numbers in this span. Quinn Priester has been such a revelation. I know that I covered him a few weeks ago on how about that, but he's just kind of been doing more of the same stuff. Obviously, Mizorowski's been a big story. Chad Patrick is, I think, a legit rookie of the year contender right now. That's getting virtually zero love, like actually zero. I don't think a single outlet nationally has talked about him. I'm probably wrong on that, but I mean, he's been very solid for them and is striking out even more guys in this span since June 12th. Brandon Woodruff's back, which is very fun. He has a 3.38 FIP in two starts, 10 innings. Jose Quintana's also been fine for a five starter. He has a 4.28 ERA in this span, five starts. And then the bullpen is it's the Brewers bullpen, believe it or not. It's very good. Trevor McGill is turning into a certified closer. I mean, like 12.83 strikeouts per nine in this span since June 12th with 0.68 home runs per nine, 2.03 walks per nine, a 135 ERA and a 189 FIP. You got my Brewers player to watch, Nick Mears, who has a 164 FIP in the span as well. Yeah, they've been just kind of rock solid all around as are most Brewers teams, and they're not in first in the NL Central yet, are they?
No, because the
They are
Cubs
not.
have kept
Yeah, because the Cubs
winning.
have also been winning. But yeah, they are 58 and 40. They are half a game behind the Dodgers,
Um,
who and they could take the lead over them tonight with a win.
they're half a game behind a team that ruined
They
baseball
ruined baseball.
because taking away all competitive
Yeah, small market
avenues.
teams will never have a chance again.
Yeah. You know what the cheat code is you have to have a really talented team that gets injured also very easily, and then it'll
Yeah,
things will be kind of even again.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, what really intrigues me about the offense, particularly, like I mentioned that they have the, second highest batting average, second highest OPS in this span. So you would expect naturally for there to be some really outstanding hitters in this span, but there kind of haven't been.
Mhm.
There's no qualified hitter in this span for the
That's
Brewers
because that's
as
because
an
Caleb Durbin
OPS.
isn't qualified.
Who's that?
That's because Caleb Durbin isn't qualified.
No, Caleb Durbin is qualified. He has
Oh,
a
he
he has a
is.
he has a 948 OPS. But what I'm saying is like
Okay.
you'd expect someone to have like a 1,000 OPS.
Yeah, that's fair.
If you had,
Blake
if
Perkins does in 5 at bats.
if you have a team who has the second highest OPS, second highest run output in a 29 game span, you'd expect someone to have a 1,000 OPS.
Sure.
But that is not the case. Caleb Durbin is at 948. Isaac Collins is at 908. Christian Yelich is at 901. Chorio at 825, which isn't necessarily an insult on the Brewers. They have the second highest OPS in this span. It's more of a compliment because I guess it's more sustainable if you have a whole team out there performing, relatively above average, making it so that you have the second best offense in the league over a month span. So I guess it's more of a shout out to the Brewers of, being a whole team, contributing as a whole team, not necessarily having themselves be
Mhm.
carried by one particular individual.
They also, and I'm not being serious because this is 25 plate appearances, but they also seem to have fixed Andrew Vaughn immediately.
That's funny.
He has like an 1100 OPS for them
Yeah, I mean, you just got to get him
after
away from the White Sox.
yeah, and shockingly, a guy leaves White Sox, becomes good. Also, fork found in kitchen.
Also, maybe a little off topic, but it is relating to this team. I feel like Major League Baseball wants me to hate Jacob Mizorowski. Like they've given him so much attention that I naturally, the contrarian in me wants to just hate this guy.
He is unfortunately incredibly fun.
Yes, yeah, he's very fun, but
Yeah.
the guy's got I think a 3.82 FIP in five
That's because he
starts.
had one blow up start against the Mets.
True, but
And also like he gives up a lot of home runs because he throws a lot of fastballs, a lot of four seam.
yeah,
But
right.
yeah, I get it. Also,
Like
like the whole, I don't know. I feel bad because it's not his fault. It's not his fault
no, it's not his fault. I
at
can't
all.
I can't hate him, but I hate the marketing a little. Part of it also is so he got called up. He made his first start June 12th. I've been a little bit more out of the baseball loop than usual. Like I went home, I went on vacation. I've been kind of out and about, haven't watched as much baseball as I normally do. So he just kind of popped up on my social media timeline without me ever really watching him or paying attention to the league
No,
that
you
much.
should. Because it's not just the stuff, which I think is where people just automatically assume like, oh, it's because he throws 100 and it moves. No, he's like he gets very amped up on the mound. Like he's like, and it's every pitch. Like it reminds me, and I don't want to throw this name out because people are gonna think very bad things. It reminds me of like rookie Jose Fernandez,
Hmm.
like the way that he carried himself on the mound, like that combination of that with the stuff, like that's where my mind goes.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm excited to watch the guy.
Mhm.
And I think he is very fun, but I think it would just make maybe a little bit more sense if he was kind of the um sneaky, like under the radar, like we're starting to find out about him and be like, oh, this guy's cool. Like we gotta
Yeah.
watch this guy
I mean,
because
like that time came and passed. Like I remember watching him in the 2023 Futures game, being like, "Oh my god, like this guy's ridiculous."
he came up as what Milwaukee's number 4 prospect. Was he a top 100?
He absolutely was.
Actually, we could probably still find out because he's still technically a prospect.
Yeah.
I only the top 100 prospects.
I was thinking it would be funny if somehow he doesn't pass the threshold of rookie eligibility and he's up for rookie of the year next year after being an all-star this year.
Was I dead wrong about the number 4 Milwaukee?
I was saying that sounded
Maybe he
I,
was number 4 like right-handed pitcher and I misread it.
I
But
maybe he was number 4 like when Chorio was still a prospect. I don't remember this year
yeah,
he was
he's
that
he's
low.
number 19 in baseball. Okay, that
Yeah, yeah.
I thought he was like a
I
fringe
know that
top
the Brewers
100
have a
guy.
good system. Like Jesus Mate's up there. Chorio obviously was up there.
Yeah, I think he's number 2 at the Brewers.
Yeah,
As of
behind Mate probably.
behind, yeah, Jesus Mate.
Yeah,
His ETA is in 2028, so
yeah.
um, that's obviously why he's not being paid that much attention to. But yeah, no, I just kind of found it funny that like I didn't pay attention to baseball as much, and all of a sudden there's like he might be like he might be like a top five like most prominent pitcher in baseball right now, just based off of name and like social media presence. Like
Mhm.
he's just they've kind of given him the Paul Skeens effect. But hey, I'm rarely complaining about a
Being
guy being
marketed.
marketed too much. So
I will never, because we spent so much time rightfully criticizing MLB's lack of marketing for their stars. And I think people misinterpreted that to be like, no, that means like, especially now being like, only market Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani, because I think back of like when people complained about like, oh, seriously, like home run derby swing off and it's Jonathan Aranda and it's Kyle Stowers. Like, no, that's cool actually. You should market the guys that are all-star level players that aren't as well known, that play in small markets. I like that.
yeah, that's what I kind of liked about.
Like, how many people like saw Kyle Stowers for the first time
Right.
on
Yeah,
Tuesday? Probably a lot, if
yeah,
unless you live in Baltimore
that's kind of a point
or Miami.
I was making with the home run derby. Like, yeah,
Mhm.
it's kind of unfortunate that we probably won't ever see Judge and Ohtani in a home run derby again, but it does give the opportunity to shine a light on some of the lesser known players who are also really, really good. Like Cal Raleigh, like James Wood, O'Neal
Mhm.
Cruz, Brent Rooker, Buxton, guys like that.
Schwarber. Well,
Yeah,
Schwarber's had the spotlight for long enough, but
yeah,
yeah,
right. But
he's not some guy no one's ever heard of. If you've watched a big game, you've probably watched Kyle Schwarber hit a home run.
But yeah, I'm not gonna actually have a problem with MLB's marketing. It is just funny that it just kind of popped up very, very quickly. Also, I did see a post, I think it was like MLB.com's like expert panel, like where they have rookie of the year right now. And I think they had Mizorowski number one, which, you know, like,
And a rookie of the year is pretty rough though.
yeah,
Like
it
I think that's like a going forward thing.
like he in or with 25 innings for him to beat Drake Baldwin for me, like Mizorowski would have to have like a sub one ERA right now to take that title.
Well,
Um,
unless Drake Baldwin like falls off.
yeah, I could
I
see.
could
I
I
mean,
could still I could still leave the door open for it, no
I
doubt.
could see Mizorowski eventually overtaking Baldwin, like later
It
in the
would it would
season.
take a lot though.
If the season ended today,
Oh, of course, of
like
course.
Mizorowski's not.
Was that poll on where it was today or where they think it's going to be in November?
I would have to imagine it was today,
Oh, that's rough. If
but
if true.
I don't know. I could be wrong on that.
Mm,
But I I feel like it would make more sense if it was where it's going to be at by the end of it, but
sure.
MLB.com didn't really make that clear. Um,
Should we get to players to highlight?
yes, yeah, let's get into players to highlight. Yeah, we will start with the lows, so we end with the highs with our um Sunday, July 2025 edition of Slightly Alarming Statistics. He's been barreling up the ball way less.
He's not missing bats. He's not getting the ball on the ground, and people are hitting it in the air more.
It's been so bad. He is getting a
Slightly alarming.
Yeah, so for my slightly alarming, this guy has better expected numbers than actual numbers. So little content notice on that, but things have still been quite bad, no doubt. And it's a season long slightly alarming. Although this guy has been bad, particularly as of late. However, I just highlight on this season. Talking about Brian Reynolds from the Pittsburgh Pirates, who is in I think year three of his extension now. Maybe it's year two. It was signed in 2023, so maybe it is year two. But throughout the season, he is hitting 226, 288, 372 for a 659 OPS, 81 weighted runs created plus, but more notably is the minus zero point 0.6 FWAR due to the defense not being very good either. Among the 156 qualifiers this year, he ranks fourth worst in FWAR. That is among qualified hitters. So like there are plenty that are worse than that don't qualify, but the fact that he's getting regular playing time and putting up minus zero point 0.6 is quite rough. 53.9% of pitches he has seen this year total have been breaking balls or off-speed pitches. That is the fourth highest rate among the 133 hitters with at least 1,250 pitches seen. He is hitting 175 against these pitches, is slugging 314, and is whiffing at a 36.6% rate. So they're throwing him more breaking balls. They're throwing him more off speed. and he's showing exactly why they're doing that by not hitting very well against them. 40.9% of batted balls, or excuse me, of fly balls hit by Reynolds this year have gone to the opposite field, or excuse me, have been hit straight away. That is up 9% from last year, which is not very good. 26.3% of batted balls by Reynolds total have been pulled ground balls, which is the 16th highest among all qualifiers. But it also makes him one of 5 Pirates in the top 18 for that stat in pulled ground ball rate. That was pretty crazy to me, and I felt like it needed mentioning, even though it throws strays at other Pirates. But I think it's warranted. His pull rate has increased 6% from 2024 to 2025, which is normally a good thing, but 62.6% of his pulled batted balls have been ground balls, and that's the 6th highest rate among the 80 hitters with at least 100 batted balls. So Brian Reynolds has just not been hitting very well this year. The defense hasn't been good in a while, but that's been kind of the same story this year. And for that reason, he is getting a slightly alarming.
Yes, Brian Reynolds.
Slightly alarming.
Also, like the Pirates, I don't think can afford to have a contract. Not that I don't think like Reynolds is not making that much in his extension. I think it's like what like 40 million or something like that.
Might be even less, honestly.
Yeah, so it's not like any bad production is like a complete liability, but like I don't know, Bob Nutting we can't afford to let Bob Nutting have leverage and like, oh, we signed a guy and he's not very good, especially because Ke'Bryan Hayes also hasn't been living up to his extension either, but that's just because the back injury and whatnot. But the defense has still been great. But I don't know. I don't love the idea that the Pirates did indeed spend and it hasn't worked out.
Yeah, a whopping $106.75 million.
Like not severe by any means. There are I can think of at least like 20 worse contracts in baseball right now. But that one is, it's not great that the Pirates did actually spend on a guy and it's not working out.
Right, yeah. It's tough.
Like just because it will give Bob Nutting ammo to be like, well, we spent it. Like it's like I
Yeah.
can't have that.
Yeah, we need
Like
to.
I would still go back and sign that extension straight up.
Right,
Even
yeah.
knowing like we'd be here in 2 years because I still think there's potential for him to break out of this.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the guy's only 30. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
30. And he's been historically a much, a very consistent above average bat. Just not this year. Yeah, he had at least 24 home runs in each of the previous 4 seasons, and he could still get there this year, if he really ramps it up. But my slightly alarming is a pitcher. He was a Cy Young finalist 2 years ago. Talking about Zach Gallen,
Yeah.
of the Arizona Diamondbacks. He's one of the many Arizona Diamondbacks pitchers who has struggled this year or even just in the past 2 years. But Zach Gallen in his last 11 starts has put up a 6.05 ERA and 5.51 FIP in 64 innings pitched. And out of 76 qualified pitchers in this span, his ERA is 4th worst and FIP is 2nd worst. And out of 28 pitchers to throw 1,000 plus pitches in this span, his expected batting average against, expected slugging against, and expected WOBA against are all the worst. Part of this has to do with hitters making more contact against him. His strikeout rate has gone from 25% before the span to 20% in the span. And his whiff rate has gone from 28% to 24%. And then along with that, his barrel rate against has gone from 8% to 15%. And out of 28 pitchers, he has the highest barrel rate against. And on fly balls particularly, his barrel rate against has gone from 16% to 42%. And out of 36 pitchers to allow 50 plus fly balls in the span, his barrel rate against on fly balls is the highest. And then along with that, his pull rate on fly balls against him has gone from 16% before the span to 29% in the span. And, his overall barrel rate going up, barrel rate on fly balls and pull rate on fly balls, all that increasing has made his home run rate go from 2.8% before the span to 5.4% in the span. And out of 76 qualified pitchers in the span, Zach Gallen has the highest home runs per 9 against. So yeah, Zach Gallen has had trouble, um, not only getting strikeouts, but also a real issue in allowing hard fly balls and home runs, and that has resulted in an ERA over 6 in an 11 start span. So Zach Gallen.
Mm.
And now we go from the lows to the highs, where we are talking players and subjects that have been outperforming expectations with our Sunday, July 2025 edition of How About That?
He's striking out less, walking more, and he's also making better contact.
Turning into a strikeout machine just out of nowhere.
He's been excellent all around this year.
And he is getting a
Yeah, so for my how about that, I think there was once a time where this guy would have been considered ineligible for how about that's, but I think he's probably made his way back into that pool of consideration, and it's only fitting that while I'm in Seattle, I'm talking about a Mariner. My how about that is Randy Arozarena, who since June 7th is slashing 319, 397, 637 for a 1034 OPS, a 189 weighted runs created plus, and 2.0 FWAR. Among the 181 qualifiers in this span, he ranks 7th in slugging, 7th in OPS, 5th in weighted runs created plus, and is tied for 2nd in FWAR. His strikeout rate has gone from 29.6% before the span to 23.1% in this span. It's gone down 6.5%. Around the start of June, Randy began moving back in the batter's box. His average depth in the box was 18.7 inches before the span, and now it is 22.7 inches in the span. So 4 inches back in the box gives himself slightly more time to see the ball. And it's hard to say whether there's an exact correlation, but his average attack direction has gone from 0 degrees before the span to 3 degrees of the pole side in this span. Also, his 66.1% ideal attack average angle rate. That's a very long name for a stat, but I promise it's important. He's tied for the 9th highest among the 216 qualifiers. That's the percent of swings where his attack angle is between 5 and 20 degrees, which is considered ideal. Randy's fly ball rate has gone from 26.7% before the span to 31.6% in the span. He's been pulling the ball, and barreling the ball for his fly balls at a relatively normal rate, at the same rate that he was before, but now he's just hitting more of them, and as a result, doing a lot more damage. Before the span, also, Randy was hitting 174 and slugging 377 against four-seam fastballs with a 35.3% whiff rate, and that 33.5% whiff rate was the highest among the 203 hitters to see at least 200 four-seamers before June 7. Since then, he is hitting 270 and slugging 622 against four-seamers with a 26.3% whiff rate, which is 9% lower. So he's hitting four-seamers a lot better, and like I always mention, that's the pitch you see the most of. You want to do damage against that, and that's exactly what he's been doing. He's been one of the best hitters in the league. He just made an all-star game, and he's made me look very foolish because one of the takes that I had about the Mariners was that I was very concerned about Randy playing a full season in Seattle, T-Mobile Park being, one of the worst parks for hitters, and he was already kind of declining from his rookie of the year season in 2021. And I felt that those things combining would make for a very bad combo. I've been dead wrong. He was an all-star. He's been excellent over the last month and a half. And he is a guy that I need to acknowledge as a how about that.
Yeah, Randy Arozarena.
How about that?
All right. And finally, my how about that? We're going reliever diving today.
Ooh.
This is someone who was not really on my radar at all. I think because he kind of came up on some of the leaderboards I was looking at, really caught my attention in how well he was doing. I believe he's a rookie, and has been part of the Blue Jays' success. I'm talking about Braden Fisher of the Toronto Blue Jays, who since the start of June has a 0.96 ERA and 1.75 FIP in 18 and 2/3 innings pitched. Out of 192 qualified relievers in the span, his ERA ranks 12th and FIP ranks 13th. He has a 23% strikeout minus walk rate and has allowed 0 home runs in this span. Part of the reason he's allowed 0 home runs is only 12% of his fly balls against him have been pulled. Anytime we do a reliever, it's really fun to dive in to their arsenal because it can be so wacky, it can be so, uneven, and unconventional, because Braden Fisher has thrown 81% breaking balls in this span, throwing his curveball 48% of the time and his slider 33% of the time. And out of 293 pitches to throw, 250 plus pitches in this span, he has the highest breaking ball rate. And it has worked out for him. Hitters are hitting 173 and slugging 212 against his breaking balls in this span. So Braden Fisher, I want to double check to make sure he is a rookie, because I'm pretty sure this is his first season. Yeah, it's his first season in Major League Baseball. He's making a very good impression, throwing breaking balls at an 81% clip and getting rewarded for it. You know, a 0.96 ERA, 1.75 FIP since the start of June, and part of the reason why the Blue Jays are having the success they are having. So Braden Fisher.
How about that?
Very
Okay.
nice.
Well, that does it for players to highlight. Any final words before you get out of here?
I got 5 minutes before I got to dip.
All right. Well, in that case, that shall do it for this installment of Above Replacement Radio. We hope you enjoyed this one. If you are listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify and want to watch the conversation as it happens, go to the YouTube channel. It is called Above Replacement Radio. Check out our guest interviews playlist, which features Seattle Mariner Matt Brash. We had an hour conversation with him over the offseason about his recovery and his role with the Mariners. So feel free to check that out. Also, follow us on social media. Follow me on Twitter, @Chris_Gianta. Follow Daniel on both Twitter and Instagram, @Daniel_Curran, and follow the show Instagram @Above Replacement Radio for all the show needs. We hope you enjoyed this one, and we hope to see you next time, where we will be talking all the happenings in Major League Baseball. Once again, see you then.
This conversation is over.